Welcome to Frederick at its best. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner, and we're here today to recognize Constitution Week and also the 125th anniversary of the Frederick County chapter of the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution. So we'll start off with Constitution Week, and I'd like to read a proclamation. Whereas September 17, 2017 marks the 230th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention, and whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and its memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate this occasion. And whereas the Constitution of the United States stands as a testament to the tenacity of America throughout history to maintain their liberties, freedoms, and inalienable rights. And whereas Public Law 915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States. And whereas I ask all of our citizens to reaffirm the ideals of the framers of the Constitutions that they had in 1787 by vigilantly protecting the freedoms guaranteed to us through the guardian of our liberties, remembering that lost rights may never be regained. And now, therefore, as the County Executive of Frederick County, Maryland, I do hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through September 23rd as Constitution Week in Frederick County and commend this observance to all of our citizens. And really, the Constitution has stood with us and basically remained amended a few times, but remains unchanged over the years and has really served our country well as a model of our democracy. So I'd like to present this Constitution Week proclamation to you.
Thank you.
All right. Now we're going to do a second, before we introduce everybody up here, we're going to do a second proclamation to recognize the 121st anniversary of the Frederick County chapter of the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution. And I have to say, I get to do these kinds of things often, but very seldom do you get to recognize somebody for 125 years. That's quite remarkable. And so obviously this has been sustained over time in our county. It's a reflection of how our community values its history. So whereas on September 20th, 1892, 14 Frederick women met for the purpose of founding a Frederick chapter of the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution, with Mrs. Betty Harrison Malsby Ritchie serving as the first regent of the chapter. And whereas those first Frederick chapter members chose the motto, "No taxation without representation," to honor the resolution of repudiation of November 23, 1765, when 12 Frederick County judges issued an order to defy the British Stamp Act, and the chapter remains committed to that motto through the annual recognition of Repudiation Day. And whereas the Frederick chapter celebrates the birth of our country, the United States flag, the United States Constitution, and all they stand for by showing our patriotism at every opportunity, especially on Independence Day, Constitution Day, and at naturalization ceremonies for new United States citizens. And whereas the Frederick chapter, which has grown from 14 charter members to 170 members, has worked tirelessly to preserve the rich history of Frederick County by commemorating and documenting historic places and events, among which are the makers of the Braddock Washington Memorial, the Lewis and Clark Eastern Legacy, the 12 immortal justices, the grave of Maryland's first governor, Thomas Johnson, the James Kimmel Cemetery, the Hessian Barracks, the Harriet Chapel, Jerusalem Cemetery, and the William Tyler Page Boyhood Home. And I can certainly tell you over 125 years, there's a lot more that we could add to this list. Now, therefore, as the County Executive of Frederick County, Maryland, I do hereby proclaim the week of September 20, 2017 as the 125th anniversary of the Frederick chapter of the National Society of the Daughters of the American Revolution. And I commend this observance to all of our citizens. And I will present this to you. Thank you, Joanne. And now I think it's appropriate to hear from the people who are standing here with us. And I will turn it over to you, Rhonda, first.
Thank Thank you, Jan, and thank you so much for making time for it. I'm Rhonda Ramsberg. I am the chairman for Constitution Week, and I just say, it's probably been a while since you've looked at the Constitution. If you have a minute, just kind of go to Google, look it up, and review your history. It's something we all seem to forget from time to time. Instead of tearing down monuments, let's build up our knowledge of history.
There you go.
And I'm Barbara Castle.
Nancy Lasardo.
Ramona Osborne.
Okay. Now we'll go.
I'm Joanne Baum, and I'm the current regent of the Frederick chapter.
I'm Teresa Euler. I'm second vice regent.
Hi, I'm Barbara Sheeler, current Historic Preservation Chairman.
And I'm Barbara Malenzi. Thank you, Jan.
All right. I want to thank all of you for joining us today. I really appreciate the great work that you do in our community, not just with promoting the Constitution of the United States, but really to preserve our rich history. The most recent event I went to was the restoration of the Kimmel Cemetery. And I guess it's the James Kimmel Cemetery. And it's really out near past Linganore High School off Old Annapolis Road. And it really was quite stunning to recognize that I think it's the burial spot of the oldest grave in the county that's marked. And there's a Revolutionary War hero there, as well as really a demonstration of the history of that family, their contributions to our community. I mean, we talk about our agricultural heritage and Fair Week. A member of that family actually was one of the founding members of starting the Great Frederick Fair, and really played a lot of roles in our county, the state of Maryland, serving in the state legislature. And it was really a great opportunity to learn about the history of our county and to recognize it. And some of these things would be lost if we didn't have the Daughters of the American Revolution investing their time, energy, and talent to make them available to people in our community. So I want to thank you for all you do. I appreciate you coming in for this. And for any of you who may be interested in joining the Daughters of the American Revolution, I'm sure you'd welcome new members. How can they do that?
We have a Facebook page, so they can find us on Facebook and send us a message.
Okay, so if you're interested in participating in this great organization, you can find them on Facebook. We're all into social media these days. I guess that's the future of our rich history. And so thank you for joining us for today's Frederick at its Best.